Cold Within by James Patrick Kelly. So the Cold Within is simple, straight. 1960 by James Patrick Kinney, an American poet. It is seemingly simple poem about 6 people around the dying fire, but it has universally profound moral. Thus, it is a parable. It inspires us to rise above the petty barriers of class, caste, religion and race and promotes the concept of universal brotherhood. It teaches us that not to behave selfish. It also makes us ponder upon the concept of sin and makes us realize that anger, envy, prejudice, miserliness and materialistic attitude are in fact not merely vices but will destroy if we do not check them. The poem is set in the western part of Cincinnati, Ohio, a place where the blacks were hated during the 1960s. Now let's look at the summary of the poem. 6 humans are trapped in the cold. They are sitting around a fire that is slowly dying out. Each one of them has a log of wood, but none of them is able to give up his or her log and revive the dying fire. This is because they often have some prejudice in their mind which they are unable to overcome. Ultimately, the fire dies out and they too freeze to death because of the cold still clutching the logs tightly. Now, let us read the poem and understand the meaning. Humans. So, which 6 humans they are talking about? There are 2 were with different colors, white and black. 2 were with different social classes, the poor and the rich. The second one was bigot and the last man was selfish. So here 6 humans trapped by happenstance in bleak and bitter cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood, or so the story is told. So children, here the poem begins on a dramatic note. The poet straight away takes us into midst of the action by telling us that 6 humans were trapped in a place which was gloomy and bitterly cold. Each one of them had a stick of wood that belonged to him or her. Here the poet uses the word human, not people. So here he is using the word human, not people, not persons, not men, not women. By using the word humans, the poet wishes to convey that as a species we all are equal in the eyes of Creator. Humans discriminate among each other, but the Creator does not do so. These humans were trapped by happenstance. So children, here happenstance means an event that was not accidental. It was prearranged. It looked as if they were trapped by chance or accident, but it was not so. In fact, the Creator of the universal power has so arranged it. So in the now next stanza, they are dying fire in need of logs, but the first one held hers back. For of the faces round the fire, she noticed one was black. Since they were trapped, they started a fire with whatever they could find, but soon the fire began to die out. At this point, it was necessary to add logs in order to fuel the fire and keep it alive, but the first human, a woman, held her log back. She refused to give it to the fire because she saw that there was a black man among them. She could not overcome the sin or racial prejudice. She could not bear to see the black man benefit because of the contribution. She would have given the log for the benefit of others, but not for because of a contribution. She would have given the log for the benefit of the others, but not for the benefit of the black man. Now third stanza. The next man, looking across the way, saw one not of his church and could not bring himself to give the fire a stick on birch. So now here, it was the turn of the next man, a human, a man. He looked around at the people sitting around the fire, and among them he saw that there was a person who did not belong to the same religion as him. Immediately he became intolerant. He could not overcome his narrow-mindedness and religious intolerance in order to contribute his log of birch wood to the fire. Birch means the wood of the birch tree. So now, next stanza. The third one sat in tattered clothes. He gave his coat a hitch. Why should his log be put to use to warm the idle rich? So here, the third man sitting around the fire was with very tattered clothes. Tattered means torn and worn out. He was obviously poor. He saw that one of people sitting around the fire was a rich man. At once, he tightened his coat. He pulled it closer. He thought, why should I contribute my log to the fire that will give warmth to this rich man who is lazy, who never has to work hard and only exploits the poor. He was filled with bitterness and envy and could not overcome these feelings. Now moving on to the next stanza, the rich man just sat back and thought of the wealth he had in store and how to keep what he had earned from the lazy, shiftless poor. The rich man also did not give up his log of wood. He sat there thinking of all the wealth that he had accumulated. He felt that he had earned it through his consistent efforts. He did not want to waste it on a poor man. He thought, how can I safeguard my wealth from the poor person who is lazy and aimless, who has no goals and no focus? So the rich man also could not give his prejudice, his greed and stinginess. He had more than enough, but he could not bring himself to share even a little bit of it. So moving on to the next stanza, the black man's face bespoke revenge as the fire passed from his sight. For all he saw in his stick of wood was a chance to spite the white. The fire was almost on the verge of dying out. The black man saw this, but on his face it was clearly visible that in this situation, the only thing he wanted was revenge for the mistreatment he had suffered at the hands of white people. His stick of wood had the potential to revive the fire and save everyone's life, but he failed to see this potential. He was so blinded by hatred and the thirst for revenge that the only thought of using the stick was to spite or to hurt the white man. So moving on to the next stanza, the last man of forlorn group did not accept for the game. Giving only to those who gave was how he played the game. So now it was the turn of the last man of this forlorn group. Isn't it strange that although there were 6 people in the group, still it said it's forlorn group, which means sad and lonely. The last man in this group never did anything without thinking that it would bring him some profit or benefit. He had an extremely materialistic transactional approach. He played the game of life by giving only to those who would give him something in return. He had no generosity or largeness of heart. He saw that the others were not giving up their logs, therefore he too refused to give up his log and save the dying fire. Their logs held tight in dead still hands was proof of human sin. They did not die from the cold without, they died from the cold within. Ultimately, the fire died out and all the 6 humans were frozen to death in the cold, even though they lay still and kept holding on to logs tightly. This was the proof of humans in their prejudices, bitterness, hatred, negative thoughts or sins. They had a chance to give up their sins in the fire of enlightenment, but they did not do so. Their death was not caused by the cold without, which means the climatic conditions which were outside of them. Their death was caused by the cold within, that is the cold in the hearts, they lacked the warmth, selfishness and the inability to reach out to others by holding on to their sins. They not only died physically but also spiritually. So children, the rhyming scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B. Thank you.